Drop-dead objection. Drop-dead objection involves two things. One, if you do not have an answer to this objection, it's over, you're dead. Has everybody got that? Two, you don't have a clue. So if you don't have an answer, you're dead, and you don't have a clue. What are you? Dead. Now, most advisors, when that happens, especially if they've been working on something for a long time, see it as an opportunity to get depressed. About 30 years ago, I was in a room when one of the legendary life insurance salespeople got a drop-dead objection. I mean, this wasn't the top guy, but he was in the top 5 ever, and he gets this drop-dead objection. And he didn't get depressed. In fact, I was seated where I could see his eyes, and his eyes lit up joyously. And there was a few of us to lunch, and somebody asked him, what was that? And he said, that was a drop-dead objection. And we all said, what's a drop-dead objection? And he told us, that's where I got the phrase. He explained what it was. Well, why would your eyes light up? He says, and he was kind of a gruff guy. He says, you know, people always have 2 reasons for things. The real one, the one they tell you. When I speak to insurance audiences, I tell them when you get a drop-dead objection, chances are good you got the core objection. So if you can handle it, you're gonna get your client. But that's not the real reason. What's the real reason? Now, this is before political correctness. He says, you know, all my life I got to watch what I say. See if this resonates with you. I got to watch what I say with clients. I got to watch what I say with prospects. I got to watch what I say with my wife. I got to watch what I say with my 3 daughters. I have to watch what I say at the Rotary meeting. But when I get a drop-dead objection, doesn't matter what I say, I'm dead. I'm going to have some fun with that. So you've been working on a case for a long time. I mean, this is not just an important one, but this is a center of influence. This is going to bring, I mean, you've had a good career. This is a career boom. I mean, this is wonderful. And you've got it done, and everything's fine, and you go in, and you hear, thank you very much. You have been wonderful. The people at First Command have been wonderful. You've helped me. You've helped my family. I just can't thank you enough. There's a little 3-letter word going to sneak in here any second. But my brother-in-law just took a job over at USAA, and my wife wants me to work on the phone with him. Now, if you have an answer to that, it is not a drop-dead objection. But if you don't have an answer, is everybody clear it's over? You look them right in the eye, and you say, that's exactly why you ought to be working with me and First Command. And wait. Now, you have no idea where you're going. But at least you're buying a little time. And he or she will probably be surprised. Now, at any point in this, you think something better to say, say it. But if they come back and say, huh? Assume they didn't hear or understand you and repeat it carefully. That is exactly why you ought to be working with me and First Command. Wait again. You may get lucky. I mean, you know this. Sometimes objections don't need to be answered in a logical, linear way. Sometimes they only need to be heard, fully acknowledged and accepted, and they blow off. Most of us talk past that. We don't let it blow off, but it happens. More likely than not, though, they'll say, well, what do you mean by that? And if you still haven't thought of anything to say, you'll look at them and say, you know. I mean, maybe they'll say, well, you mean my brother-in-law's a jerk? Precisely what I had in mind. Or maybe they'll say, you mean it's easy to hire a brother-in-law, but you can't fire a brother-in-law? Oh, that's exactly what I meant. But, this isn't just a sales idea. This is a have some fun idea. This should be a fun business. And this is an opportunity to have some fun with no risk. I mean, what the heck? You're dead. Play with it. And part of not only that's just fun. Remember when you first started, you didn't know the answer to any question around it. They started to move their lips and the back of your voice is saying, they're going to ask me something I don't know, I'm going to die right here. Remember that? But also remember when that happened that sometimes you got creative like you couldn't believe. When you're out there on a limb, it's almost like you're channeling or something. Where's this coming from? This is good. Can I make a note while I'm talking? I want to use this again. But you know, when you've been in the business a while and it starts to become day in and day out, you lose, and you got the answer to most all the questions, you lose that edge. But here you get that edge back. Here's a chance to be creative. Wow, you're going to have to be. Because if they come back again and say, no, I do not know what you mean by that, what do you mean by that? All I have to offer is some short ball guy told me to try this. You do better than that. It is an honor to be standing before those who serve those who serve. Thank you.